No, thank God we had one more day to recover this time, so enough time also to be fully recovered and ready to go. Yeah, tough times. Games are coming thick and fast, and it's not easy because we can't rotate that much. The injuries ease up a little bit. So thank God we've got right now also Kenny McLean back, and also Todd Cantwell. They were there and with a proper amount of minutes. Kieran Dowell improves from day to day. He will also be quite a reliable option pretty soon. And also Jordan Ugle, his first minutes again under his belt was also good for his confidence and his trust in his body back. So some good news. And all the players are also available for tomorrow. So some good news. No, both not available for tomorrow. So Tim returned back on the training pitch on Sunday. He was integrated more or less in all parts of team training, but he doesn't feel 100% confident. We won't take any risk with him. So there was a slight chance, but as he's experienced enough, and I listen a lot also to him. So from the clinical point of view, it was said that 3 weeks he would be ready to go. So that means actually these 3 weeks are over, but as long as he doesn't feel really 100% comfortable, and there is still a little rest doubt in his set, we won't take any risk for that. He is too important. So we are there with big hope that he can play on Saturday, but not for tomorrow.
And Lucas Rupp, a bit too soon for tomorrow, you think? Maybe Cardiff, similar?
Yeah, it's not back in team training. So if everything goes, we will try to bring him back on the training pitch on Thursday. So in 2 days, that means he could be there for perhaps a few minutes also for Cardiff. So it looks good. So no pain anymore, but he hasn't trained so far with the team, and the plan is to bring him back on the training pitch together with the team on Thursday, if in the next 2 days there is no setback. So we're also quite hopeful that he can join from Thursday on, and then as soon as he can train, then he's also a topic to be picked for the games. Yes, I think so. So it looks like they could join us in team training in the week before Watford. So that means tomorrow they will be both out. Yeah, also if not a little miracle happens, probably they will be both out for Cardiff, and then they can be a topic for Boxing Day. Yes, I think overall you have to say when you judge the whole period, he was fantastic. Yeah, it was quite normal in the first 1 or 2 games. There was perhaps a few rusty scenes, but not really that he was involved in big mistakes or something like this. Not at all. And he was also crucial, especially also in the last game. I think, especially the last two games, he was really excellent. And the save when it was 0-0 after the corner. Yeah, you can't label it different than really a world-class save. So unbelievable reaction. It was also crucial also to not to go back in this moment. And like I mentioned before, I can always trust Mickey also for him. Good that he is right now in the rhythm. Also his confidence level has grown from game to game. Nevertheless, we are happy once Tim Krul is fully available, but it also takes a bit the pressure away that we have to force or risk anything. So Michael is a absolutely professional goalkeeper, absolutely reliable, and we're happy to have him. And he has proved this, especially in the last days. And also just have to watch the statistics. So 3 wins in a row with him in the goal is quite good, definitely. Yes, he has proved this. I think 2 years ago in our promotion season, he was there with several goals and also many assists, and lost a bit this cutting edge on Premier League level. He created many chances anyhow, but was not so much involved in goals with assists or his goals. And we need this, especially on this level. We need this ability also to deliver end products. And of course, in the beginning of the season, he needs a bit to come into this rhythm. But right now, he's growing more or less from game to game. And for me, it's quite important. His mindset is totally all right. He's fully focused. He's disciplined. He works for the team. And if you do this, then you will always shine when you have the quality. And he brings himself into positions where he can score, where he can assist. He's in the pockets. He brings himself into a shooting position. That's great. And it was quite similar with Timo, because his workload in the last game was also fantastic. And when we speak about the second goal, for example, you could speak about a bit lucky because he was able to be there at the right position on the pitch with the instinctive deflection of the ball. But before he won the ball, he drove the ball and tried to be there with a good pass to Mario Franjic. He stayed in the game with his counter pressing he provoked that then Oliver Skipp was able to win the second ball. And in the second phase attack, Emmy was in shooting position, and Timo then in the right position to deflect the ball pretty quick and more like an instinctive finish. It was a fantastic goal. And it's always when you're willing to invest, when you're willing to work for the team, then you also shine on the individual level. And I got the feeling it's the same with Emmy at the moment. Yeah, he works a lot, disciplined. He's top class in his pressing, top class in his counter pressing. And once you are so focused against the ball, you're also good in the game with the ball. And it's also no coincidence for me that he is able at the moment to deliver really with goals and assists, and this is what we needed. And if he can do this further on, then he's outstanding. Yes, you have to say they have done a fantastic job, and we have to be unbelievably respectful for that. An outstanding start with many wins, and were totally on fire. A little dip in terms of results, but like you mentioned, the right now again, so really consistency, and this league is about consistency. And after 18 games, it's not that you just can speak about early doors. It's already a proper amount of games, and then to be in a top class position in the table on the top 6, not far away from top of the league, then you have to say this is this quality, and this is one of the best teams in the league. And for that, we are pretty aware and also pretty respectful. They have really good players, really good possession side. Many threats in the offense, many players who can score, and we have to be at our best in order to protect our position on the table, and also to protect our point distance to them. But we also know that we are in a good shape, and we are there in a proper position. But it will be a game where small details will be determining, and we have to be fully switched on. Have to play in the toughest league in the world. It's the toughest league anyway. But to do this in a situation more or less without a summer break and without a preseason, and to do this even in a small amount of time. So we have to go through this season more or less with 1 or 1.5 months less to play all the games. So to deliver all 3 days is unbelievably difficult for the lads, and you don't have much time to work on the training pitch, to work on the tactical behavior, to work on the details. Also in terms of recovery, it's unbelievably tricky, and so for that, this league is relentless anyway. But during this season, even more. And then it's always about consistency, and to go through the games and to grind out results. And I have to say, I'm pretty pleased what we've done so far. And also, when you compare this also with other top leagues, quite often there are 4, 5, 6 teams per league who are in the top positions, who are there with a better point average than 2 anyhow. When you have a look on at the points on championship level, there's more or less just one team with a better point average than 2. It's us, so it's great, many compliments, but it says a lot about how tight this league is. And when you think about teams who are struggling at the moment at the wrong end of the table anyhow, like for example Nottingham, you would have expected them to be a really good competitor for the top 6. Right now they're struggling a bit on the other end. So in this league there are fine margins, and each and everything can happen in each and every game, and how close all the teams are together. This says a lot about the team. When you lose 3 or 4 games, you are a bit in trouble in terms of relegation. So at least most of the teams, thank God we are in a much better position meanwhile. But also with 3 or 4 wins, you are pretty close, and to be there close to the top 6. So this league, and it's no coincidence, it's the toughest league in the world in this season in special. And for that, then I think it's also quite normal that in this special season, without preseason, with having even more games to play in a shorter period of time, it's quite normal that then sometimes the quality of the games is not that great. Like if you would have 7-8 days sometimes between the games when you can work tactically on the pitch. I think this all belongs together. Well, in general, I'm totally convinced it's unbelievably difficult to play the season after relegation, because you have to deal with the hangover, you have to deal with the discussions. You have quite often transition period in terms of incomings and outgoings. Anyhow, also for the players there, because in the head they played Liverpool, Man City, anyhow, and right now you have to travel back to not the biggest names in the football world, and they still judge themselves because they were also praised, at least on the individual level, as Premier League players. It's unbelievably difficult. And this has also shown the past. I think the big advantage right now for the teams who were relegated last season, Watford and Bournemouth played many seasons in a row on Premier League level. And when I judge at the moment Watford and Bournemouth, for example, you judge their starting lineups, they have always more than 1,000 Premier League games in their starting lineup. Just their individual quality helps them also to be in a really good position. I think we are in a slightly different position. So, of course, because of last season, we have, of course, right now also Premier League experience, but not that much like, for example, Watford or Bournemouth have. But the good thing is more like we had still our principles and our values where we could lean on. So it was not like we were a club after relegation that there were 1,000 question marks. Yeah, quite often it's more like then the board is criticized and the sporting director is sacked and the head coach is sacked and you want to change the whole team and you sell 10 of your players because you're in financial trouble anyhow. You have to buy some players and sometimes you bring experienced players in who are unbelievable expensive anyhow because you're panicking a little bit. No, we stick to our beliefs. We stick to our principles, how we want to work, how we want to play. Also, like we stick to our beliefs that our young players, our academy is unbelievably important. And I think to have these values and no panicking and fully aware that it would be an unbelievably difficult season, but also fully aware how we want to work. And this is, I think, crucial. And this is also what I spoke about. I wanted, once I started to work for this club, I wanted to create a bit on a philosophy, how we play, really values, how we want to work, values, how we want to stand for. And regardless if we are unbelievably successful or there are some difficult times or even some setbacks on our way, that we have our cornerstones and our topics where we can lean on in order, because this makes out of you a really solid and reliable and successful club. Because even on the top level, you will have even the best clubs in this country. When we speak about Liverpool or Man United or Man City or whoever, they still have setbacks in their developing periods or seasons that are a bit difficult. But once you then can lean a bit on your philosophies and values, you go through it, because sometimes you always have a bit of transition period or whatever, or a difficult period. And this is what we've shown. So we lean on our beliefs and on these cornerstones. And I think this helped us a lot in order to be in the position where we are. But still no guarantee for the future. So we have to keep going in this way.